Hey guys, we're going to do like a Pulp Fiction type thing here today. This is two separate days that I'm combining into the same video. Both of them have to do with collapsing the wing and why it's not necessarily a scary thing for new pilots. I hear a lot of talk about what if the wing collapses, and a lot of that is just from fear of the unknown. I just want to do a little demonstration here. It's not a how-to, it's not go out and do it yourself, but just an example of what it does, how it recovers. Just some basics. I just thought it would make a fun video. I hope you enjoy it. I think what I'm going to do is go up, and if the conditions are good, do some wing collapses. Collapses seem to be a thing that bother a lot of new students. I see students telling me, oh my God, I'm so worried about what if the wing collapses? And sorry, I get distracted by stuff like that. I want to go up there and just like maybe do some collapses on the wing, like fly half a wing or something, just to show you that it's not exactly the worst thing. I don't know, maybe it'll end in disaster and I'll have to throw my reserve or something, but I got the reserve installed. I'll be strapped in, all should be well. But I'm gonna turn on a video camera and go up there and mess around and do a vlog at least. So let's get out to it. Let's go to the airport and do our thing. I don't know what to say. I feel like I'm rusty at vlogging or something. Maybe I'm tired. I don't know, I did get up pretty early. I've been working out in the shop all day, fixing things, making things.
We interrupt this program to bring you a special report.
If you want this video to make better sense, if you've not seen this video first, you may want to go back and watch it. This is the last half of the crack pipe weather video I made previous.
It ended up the last time I asked myself, it was all right. Everything's just sort of puffing up and just like a normal thermal day. It's a bit rowdy and rocky. It's the end of the day though, so I'm comfortable with it. Now, just because I'm doing something does not mean that you should. I'm also sporting this new throttle that a dude from Croatia made. It's like a 3D printed. Appears to be like a copy of an air conception throttle, maybe. I'm gonna do a check for air traffic. All right, first test fly on the new machine. We're gonna kite the wing up. Get it how we want it. Looks like I got sand in it from yesterday, probably. We got the motor killed, and we got the brakes in our hands. Let's try a collapse here to the right. Okay, it wants to open up. All right, we're gonna grab like more lines now. Okay, we're closing like half the lines, okay? So I've got half the wing, and I'm just leaning over to my left a little bit. And I'm flying straight. I'm descending quite a bit more. All right, so let's let go of it and watch what happens. All right, without doing anything, the wing completely opened back up. Now, that was just a quick and dirty demo. It looks like I've lost so much altitude, I might have to do a restart here. I don't want to have to walk. Bear with me just a second. Oh yeah, she cranks right back up. Give it a little juice this way. Yeah, so conditions are not like super great. I'm just gonna go and land. It's a short flight. I wanted a little test flight. Look, I'm parked. I'm not even penetrating very much. I'm going through some gradients. I see the wind direction is different just 200 feet below me than it is where I'm at. Okay, now I'm cutting into the wind. Now look, I just made this huge direction change as I got lower. Oh, and it's turbulent. So now I'm gonna turn back the way I was going into the wind, but now I'm gonna be drifting. So yeah, oh wait, my camera's still pointed at the sky. I'm sorry. How's this? Is this better? I suck at this. So yeah, I can see the windsock bouncing around like mad down there. Oh yeah, it's turbulent, wildly turbulent. You just gotta fly through it. You can't be deep in the brakes or anything. I'm gonna kill the motor. All right, I'm watching the windsock. I wanna see what I'm landing in. All right, I've got speed. Oh look, I'm getting lifted, which means I'm probably finna get dumped. So I'm gonna bury the brakes nice and deep. Oh, and touchdown easy. So you got to watch for those type things. Now I'm fixing to kite this wing around upside down. because it's full of sand. So do like a big, Hey, I can see the sand down there in the wing. All right, I'm just gonna undo this and take care of that while I'm in a good spot with a little breeze blowing. Sand in your wing is not necessarily good. Anytime you lay your wing down, plenty of slack, so if the wing moves, it's not gonna tangle your lines.
All right, y'all, so a couple of things to discuss about the flight that I just had. One, the weather presented itself with a gap. I could see after I took off, I could see a gust front coming toward me. And until you can learn to read the weather the way that I've learned, it's not something that you should play with. It was not a strong gust front. I could tell that it was coming from some distance away, but I could see the haze and I could see it moving along the ground, and I could see just how far away it was and how quick it was coming toward me. These are things that are hard to describe. They're not always the same. There's no like rule of thumb that will point out what's happening with these weather phenomenon. Studying on it and learning it is important, and I commend you to do that yourself. I've spent years looking at these things and studying them. Even after that, I get it wrong from time to time. Again, I could see that it was not that strong, it was not that close, it was not coming toward me that fast. It just had all the signs that there was a little gap that I could fly, so I chose to fly. Now, the type of air that I flew in was not dangerous. It was certainly turbulent. It was certainly not comfortable for somebody who lacks experience or has a low bump tolerance. So again, for the majority of pilots out there, they probably should have said no go. Just because I saw it, called it, looked at it, and did it does not mean that you should. Which leads me to the second point that I was here to make. Going up there and collapsing your wing and flying an asymmetrically collapsed wing is not something that you want to practice over the dirt. It's not something you want to do if you've never done. I just wanted to prove a point that, you know, having a collapse is not that big of a deal. A little weight shift away from it, it flies nice and straight. You let go of it, it opens right back up. That's any A or B glider out there. Very few A or B gliders are gonna be outside of that box, so to speak. But again, it's not something you wanna go out on a whim and do. These are things that I've done a bunch of times. I've done them over water, under instruction. I've studied on how the wing reacts. These are things that can be practiced, and I've practiced them. And things got big and hairy. Collapsing half the wing, it's actually a descent technique. It's kind of like big ears, but only on one side. It is a technique that you can use to lose altitude quickly, just as big ears or a beeline stall, spiral dive, you know, these are all descent techniques. I wanted to descend, right? But I also wanted to demonstrate that having a collapse is not a scary thing. It doesn't have to be a scary thing. Once you learn to fly, I think that the next thing that you should probably do is go find some SIV training. It will give you more confidence in your wing and your abilities than any training that you can do, short of like basic instruction. It's the fail-safe moves, you know, it's the stuff that you learn that, again, that's just a personal opinion, you know. When I learned SIV, it was by far the first one. More out of that bit of training than I have any other training I've done. Now that's not including, I guess, adding up all the practice that I've done over the years, just going up and practicing hours on end. Those are things that come with time, that's experience, that gives you wisdom. All right, I'm kind of preaching now. You know, I guess I try to share the things that I've learned, and I try to share good advice that might keep you safe. And having a collapse is not dangerous. Now, if you're in air strong enough to cause a 50% collapse and you're not ready for it, you probably made a bad decision already. This fear that new pilots have that, oh my God, the wing collapses. I remember years ago, I was talking to a fixed wing pilot, and I shared my desire to maybe want to try out, in that case, powered parachutes, or I don't even know what PPG was, but I was exploring buying my own vehicle, something I could keep at home, something I could fly around. Owning my own aircraft was a dream of mine at this point. And I was sharing this with a pilot. He says, man, I saw one of those wings collapse one time. Not for me. And it kind of gave me a funny feeling like, wow, you know, maybe that's bad. Maybe these things are dangerous. And that was just in my mind because of that one sentence that pilot shared with me. And it's not the case, guys. It's not the case. Maybe it was some years ago when these wings that we were flying were more like parachutes and less like what they are today. I mean, today they're the top of the line stuff, you know, they're high tech. Again, the gear we have, it's not gonna do you bad. It's not gonna do you wrong. To have this apprehension about, oh my God, the wing might collapse. Well, that's a serious thought to have, but at the same time, it's not the most serious thing that could happen. A wing collapse is a pretty benign situation. It is not anything terrible. It doesn't have to be. Don't want you to think it. And that was the point of this exercise. Personally, when I go edit a video and it's just me blabbering on about who knows what, I kind of get like annoyed with myself. I hope you don't. I mean, apparently you guys appreciate what I'm throwing, or you wouldn't be subscribing and hitting those thumbs up and ringing the little dinger bell that tells you when I drop a video. So if you're doing that, hey, much love, guys.
So here we are, a couple of days later, week later, 2 weeks later. Shit, I don't know. Oh, I need a carabiner for this. I think I got one in here. Smack goes the telephone. There's a carabiner. There we go. Where do I want to clip it? Just anywhere, really. Ah, winds look amazing. I'm going to do a forward launch. This is going to be so much fun. Yeah, I should probably be running like a GPS as well, just to sort of log like how much altitude I'm losing, the change in descent rate. But this is a pretty informal test, you know. This is just kind of on the fly, capture some footage, show you what some collapses look like out here in a safe area. Everything's looking good. Motor's pre-flighted. I'm clipped in. Reserves are clipped in. Phone is tethered. Oh, the reserve just shifted. Still clipped in. It's just hanging a little weird. That's okay too. You got to be really careful when you've got a lot of stuff going on. You know, there's being a pilot and then there's being a video maker. And these are different things. These are things that shouldn't be mixed up. All right, what am I seeing? Aircraft, weather, all is well. Let's get this dude started up. Do ourselves a launch. Clear. There we go. Okay, if I can keep from kicking this camera to pieces, I think I'm gonna go. Okay, so I think I'm recording now. I'm gonna stow my throttle here. Sure everything's safe and secure. And I'm gonna do a asymmetric collapse to the left. All right, ready? 1, 2, 3. Here we go. All right, the glider's diving. I'm leaning in a weight shift to the right, and I'm in a spiral. But look, I'm leveling out. And now I'm actually weight shifting and flying straight. Now I put the move in late just to kind of demonstrate a point. I'm gonna let it go and watch what happens. Opens up. No big deal. Let's try one to the right now. And this time I'm gonna weight shift to the right pretty hard when I do it. Let's see what happens. It dives a little bit and then it straightens back out. So you're gonna get that dive. All right, so that's a 50% collapse. No big deal. My descent rate is increased. That's a fact. I'm gonna let it go and I'm gonna pop the brakes this time. Look how quick it comes out with just a few little pumps. Full frontal. Let's get square, balanced. How about them apples? I like this wing. It's a nice wing. I'm running at altitude though. I got to put this camera up and get down here and start some work with my students. I hope you liked that little demo from Kylo. Much love, guys. Kyle out. So I'm just gonna leave you here with this silent glide into a spot landing. I hope you enjoyed the video. Consider giving it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't, to those who already have. And for anyone that has watched it this far, I got nothing but love for you guys. Kyle out. landing right by the truck completed. Those lines kind of burned my fingers. I should have had gloves on. And they always burn worse when they're cold. Yeah, I got a little line burn on that one and that one. I guess that was right where I